looked out the window before homeroom began. It was already autumn. Huh. The leaves outside were turning red and the weather was getting cooler by the day. I guess we were going to change into our winter uniforms pretty soon. Just then, the teacher walked in and began homeroom. After announcements, Harakara went up to the front of the room. Since the cultural festival is coming up, our class is going to conduct a vote to decide what we're going to do this year. Also, as our final year at the Bakababa High School, we should all combine our efforts to make fun and exciting events. So please volunteer your ideas and I'll write them up on the board. I guess this will be my first high school cultural festival in Japan. Wonder what we should do. Ooh, alright. How about something conventional like a haunted house? Let's do something really unusual. All of a sudden, a rowdy boy suggests a maid cafe, much to the girls' sheesh, what was he thinking, suggesting something like that? Imagine the amount of work it would take to get the costumes ready with all the frills and, high heels and the aprons. On the other hand, I wouldn't mind if all the girls were cute costumes on that day. It really was boring wearing nothing but our uniforms every day. They seemed kind of cool at the beginning, but seeing nothing but the same clothing for months really was getting tiresome. Come to think of it, maybe a maid cafe wouldn't be such a bad idea. Besides, since somebody else already offered up the idea, nobody would even know if I were to vote for it. One little vote couldn't possibly hurt anyone. After a few more minutes of shouting our ideas, Hakarara passed out a slip of paper to each student and asked everybody to vote. I wrote Maid Cafe on my slip and dropped it in the box. It's gonna have every fucking vote. In the end, the haunted house ended up getting the majority of the vote. Aww. Even though some of the guys were disappointed, I guess doing something like a maid cafe really was impossible. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't see Hakara in a maid costume, but I suppose it would have been mean to force all the girls embarrassing themselves for the sakes of the sake. Hey! We met up with Nanami and Sora during passing period to talk about what our class was doing. Oh, a haunted house, how boring. It was kind of close call, since the maid cafe was only 2 votes from winning. Oh, our class gonna have a scavenger hunt. Oh yeah, we're gonna find their bodies. I remember my class did something like that 2 years ago. And Naomi nodded her head seriously. Except this is gonna be no ordinary scavenger hunt, because we're gonna hide a bunch of stuffed animals. You'll be seeing them, you come up and you find them, yeah. Oh, sounds interesting. What's Sora's class doing? Maze. What's that? We're going to turn our classroom into one giant maze. Many dead ends, and only one way out. That sounds, well, I've never heard of anyone do that! We're trying to be unique. That's, yo, that sounds like fun, dog. Yo, we should check it out. There were 2 weeks left until the cultural festival. Apparently, the cultural festival at Minamai was pretty serious business. For 2 days, the gates of Minamai were open to the entire community. On the first day, all the clubs hold their own special exhibitions, while on the second day, all the classes held their events. Best of all, our class is going to be shortened until the festival, so we had time to prepare. I had no need, I sure needed this break. Every day, it was always the same boring routine here. Bang this girl, bang that girl, bang that girl, bang them all at the same time. You know, it's very boring. Wear the same uniform, take the same classes, follow the same rules, bang the same girls. Everyone was looking forward to a change in pace. Before I knew it, it was already time for lunch. I left the classroom and headed toward the cafeteria where I happened to notice a poster. Special moonlight dance for graduating seniors. I had never heard anything like this. Brr. It looked like there was going to be a dance by the bonfire on the final day of the cultural festival. Behind me, I could hear a pair of girls talking about it. Girl A. So, who do you want to go out with for the dance? I don't know. Besides, I'm not going to ask anyone out or anything. I'll just wait till someone asks me out, because I'm a pompous bitch. That's right. I need to find a dance partner. It's going to be dance time. Dance Central. Let's see. Since the school year was almost over, I guess this would be one of my final memories of high school. I should really think hard about who I want to ask out. With that in mind, I continue to the cafeteria. Our fun-filled days quickly passed. Passed quickly. Meh. Dyslexia. Every day was spent preparing for the culture festival. However, I still couldn't figure out who I should ask out to the dance. Hakura was really good looking, and not only that, but she had perfect grades and was also a skilled cook. Well, you know what? Fuck Hakura, okay? There was honestly no way to fault her for anything, except being, dumb. As the class representative, she really stood out as the best girl in our class. Not really. In fact, maybe it was a little under-deserving of her. On the other hand, Nanami was my best friend. She always had a cheerful smile on her face and had energy to do anything. Anything. I admit she was a little bit of a loose cannon. You're a loose cannon, Nanami. Taking your badge. But I guess that was also a part of her charm, too. Oh! Oh, okay. Okay. What? What the fuck? All of a sudden, a ghastly wraith appeared in front of me, knocking me from my thoughts. Wow! Wait, what? Oh, Rikugun! Huh? Is that you, Hakura-chan? Ah! I'm sorry, did I scare you? Getting scared by a cheap wig like that, I felt embarrassed. I thought it would have been his sister. Huh. No, not really. No. Our class was in the middle of decorating our room. Rows of plywood sheets stood against the wall, waiting to be arranged throughout the classroom and decorated. Ah! To tell the truth, I was a little scared myself when I first saw myself in the mirror. To illustrate, Hakura waved her arms around and moaned in a deep voice. Oh yeah, girl. What? Please give me your soul! To tell the truth, maybe she was more scary just not saying anything. As for me, I was in charge of lights, so there was no need for me to get into a costume. A bunch of boys grabbed the plywood plywood walls and made a path. Made a path through the spectacular. Now that our desks and chairs were removed, our classroom seemed surprisingly large, like my dick. Using an overhead map of what the haunted house was supposed to look like, we managed to lay the plywood into place. After finishing with the walls, it was time for decoration. I grabbed a bunch of red and blue lights and set them up on the rigging. After a couple of hours, it seemed like our classroom was thoroughly starting to look haunted. The days following that were all spent preparing for the festival too. I still didn't know who I was going to ask to the dance, though. At least it was the day of the festival. I entered the wildly decorated gates of Manamama High School at the crack of dawn to get ready for the day's events. Since the first day of the festival was dedicated to just clubs, I headed straight to the Kendo Dojo. As soon as I entered the dojo, Nanami stuffed an armful of inflatable swords into my hands. What? Oh, Rakuku! Good time, man! Yo, take this, would you? I was so distracted by the haunted house that I nearly forgot the Kendo Club was going to have its own special activities for today. That's right, we were going to have a inflatable sword duel ring. To describe it in more detail, two people were going to stand on top of a small circular stand, exactly one sword's length apart from each other, and whoever managed to knock the other person off was the winner. I think I saw something like this in a festival in America. Ultimate Warrior. I carried the inflatable swords to our stand, taking care not to drop any. The Kendo Club stand was located quite a bit away from the dojo in front of the track field. Upon arrival, I dropped the swords into a wooden box. Nearby, a group of Kohai were tapping a sign. What? Kohai? The fuck's a Kohai? Thanks for the work, Saja Senpai. It was no problem. Behind me, Nanami appeared from seemingly nowhere, a circular stand under each of our arms. Oh, hey, we can use these! Now that I thought about it, these stands looked kind of familiar. Hey, these wouldn't be... Oh, yeah, they're the little seats that you use in the washrooms and squat on while taking a shower. Just as I thought. Oh, I had to buy these, you know. Well, good to know they weren't used ones. By the time the sun was up, we finished putting the final touches on our stand. There was even an elaborate sign featuring an illustration of two gekikake-styled muscled men beating the living snot out of each other. Must be Nanami's handiwork. Now all we had to do was wait for the festival to begin. Festival! Look at all those festivals. By 11 a.m., the school grounds were already filled with visitors. Who could resist, right? Our stand was pretty popular with other students, so Nanami and I had our hands full selling tickets. Out of the blue, Nanami tapped me rapidly on the shoulder and pointed toward the crowd. Oh, Rikuku! Check out that living couple over there. Huh? Now that she mentioned it, there was a young couple wandering around not far from us. No, look, doesn't look at that damn just make you want to stick your stomach, man. No, not really. Oh, holding each other by the arms, eating ice cream, and all from the same coat. Oh, I bet they already done it already, yeah. Now, it's one too many alreadys, Nanami. Alright, yo, look, looks like we have no choice but to split them up. All of a sudden, Nanami grabbed a pair of inflatable swords and stomped toward them. What? Let's see how long this love couple love continues when they're locked in Mortal Kombat. This girl clearly had no trace of sensibility. Not really eager to get involved in whatever she was planning, I stayed at the stand and kept watch. ... I spotted Sora walking by the stand with a small plate of dakadakada on her palm. Oh, hey, Sora. Aren't you doing something today? The going home after school club doesn't have a stand. I kind of saw that. I kind of saw what Sora meant. I wouldn't mind being able to see more of the stands myself. But I wasn't able to leave our stand alone while Nanami, who knew what might happen. Oh wait, with Nanami, alright. On an unrelated note, I noticed that Sora was wearing a new pair of earrings! Ow. How did you... whatever. That's strange, I didn't know her ears were pierced. Oh, by the way, where'd you get your ears pierced? No pierce. Clip on. To demonstrate, she undid one of her earrings. They're pretty nice. Did you win them at the stand? All of a sudden, a crash interrupted our conversation. Of course you interrupted. Oh, mission failure! Naomi gripped our stand and hung her head low, as if she had just finished a grueling marathon and came in last place. Hey, you know, don't just interrupt other people's conversations. Rikuku! That love meter was too high for me! She wasn't even listening to me. All of a sudden, Naomi turned to me with a serious look on her face. I was a fool, Rikuku. A fool, a trifle with the power of love. I didn't even know where to touch this. Like, right here, right here, right here. Maybe there, on her chest. Yes, indeed. The light of love shall always show the way to justice. She continued to babble on about love and justice, apparently trapped in her own little world. Finally, she snapped out of it when she noticed Sora, who's been standing here the whole fucking time. Oh, hey, it's Sora Joe, John, yeah. Well, it's about time you fucking noticed.